Graceful amber window, coffee.
Hi, welcome to One Small Stitch Nook, my desk where the creativity is happening. We are going to be going over how to do the puff stitch, and particularly when you're just building on puff stitch after puff stitch, which I use in my Cottage Acorn collection. So if you want to either if you're coming here from the pattern or if you want to check out the pattern, that will be linked below. But let's get into it. So I'm using about a 408 yarn. This is the Yarn Bee Pearl Spun. This is the color Redwood. And you can use a 4, 4.5, or 5mm hook, depending on how big you want your puffs to be. It'll add extra to it. So we're going to do the demonstration with building off of a regular base, and then I'll also show if you want to build it from the round, like in my hat patterns. So let's get into it. Okay, what you'll want is a chain. I think it works for any, at least this method, will work with any number of chains. So I'm going to do a short little one. So let's see, 2, 4, 6 of 6 here. And then I'm going to chain 2 extra for our working the first row. And this is for if you're working it flat. I recommend adding these double crochets on the sides to help, because this if you're working it flat, it's going to create a little wobbliness, and it helps if you can go over it later with a single crochet trim at the very least. So I chained 2 extra to do my first row. We're treating these two as a double crochet unless you want to add a double crochet. Then I would do 3 and work into the third one, or if you don't mind losing a chain there. Depends on what you're working on. And so now we're going to do a puff stitch in the third chain here. And the puff stitch is just a yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through 2, 3, or 4 times. It kind of depends how big and puffy you want it. I'm going to do 3. I like a bit of puff, but not too much. And oh, I'm sorry, I went too far, too fast. So once I've yarned over, inserted, yarn over, pull through 3 times, I'm going to yarn over one more time to pull through all my loops, and then chain 1 fairly tightly to secure that puff stitch. Now we're going to do it into the next one, same thing. So you're going to keep working a puff stitch by yarning over, inserting, yarning over, and pulling through any number of times you would like. I'm going to be doing 3 each time here. And when you yarn over, pull through, and then chain again, just to secure it down. I'm going to do it again. And if you want to space out your puff stitches and you want a little more gaping, this is for the method for if you don't want many holes in your work. You can do a chain 1 and skip 1 in between each puff stitch. This is for when you kind of want just a surface covered in puffs. Okay, I'm nearing the end here, and so I'm going to do a puff stitch in the second to last one, and you want to leave your last chain, a little bit of hair there, for your double crochet. So here's my last puff stitch. You can see how it's creating this very bulbous, squishy surface, and then we'll double crochet into the next one. If I can get a hold of it. And that'll be our little side border. So there we are. And for the next row, here's what we're going to do. You chain 2, turn your work, and you'll notice you'll want to know, or just keep in mind, so I have 5 puff stitches worked in mine. And so what I'm going to do is start a puff stitch in this area between the double crochet here and the puff stitch. So I'm going to just insert it into there, and this flows very nicely because now you're not kind of working into a stitch. So I really like that. It's just kind of into this gaping hole here, and we're going to go into the next one. Do another puff stitch. Should kind of have the hang of it now, and it should get smoother now that we're past the first row. Keep going in between the puff stitches. And in my case, it's easy to see because I have a short work, but if you're doing this on a blanket or something, you don't want to have to count yours every time that your puff stitch is match. But the concept will be the same. So here you see, since I started in between here, I don't want to work in between this last puff stitch and the end, because this allows my puff stitches to match up. You alternatively can skip this one and work in that one. It doesn't matter too much, but either way, it's going to add a little extra bulge on one side versus the other. So double crochet in between on that last one, or you can just work into chain if you'd like. So you see how that looks. So you see how we get a little more bulge here, but we're going to offset it by doing the same thing again. And so that's going to provide the bulge on this side. So once you chain two and turn your work, and you work into that first space in between the your double crochet and your puff stitch, it's going to bulge out that way. So I'm just going to quickly work that up so you can see, but you basically work this up all the way. And so as I get to the end again, I'm just going to remember not to only worry about ones that are in between puff stitches. So once I reach the chain or what's representing the double crochet, I'm not going to puff stitch into that. I'm simply going to double crochet there. So you see here, it's a little more out. So it's going to have a little wave effect if you do it this way. And so what helps is when you're going around your work, say it's for a blanket, you can do a single crochet along those chains and double crochets to smoothen that out. So just to give you a little visual, and then I'll do a little corner turn here. And then I'll work the back ends of these bottom chains. Of course, they're tight, just to give a little visual. So you see how smooth that looks compared to it. So we'll still have a little more, so you can of course keep adding, maybe like a cream trim in this example would look very cute, and then another brown, I might do something like that, but that's how it works. And so like, and you can imagine it work for like a cozy, something like that. But let's get into how to work this in the round. So when we're starting the round, you can either do the magic circle method, or like I like to do it, I just chain two, and I'm going to start with a little single crochet round, which you can do a single crochet into your first chain or magic circle of 6 or 8, depending on what you're working on. I'm going to recommend 6 because that's what I use in my pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, then we'll slip stitch to join. And this is going to be our little foundation, much like the chain was for our flat. So pull up the loop to loosen it up, like so. Not too loose, but you know, enough for kind of height of your first puff stitch. And so now just go ahead and do a puff stitch into your first stitch. So I'm going to do the count of 3 again, like we did previously, if you did watch that. And then yarn over, pull through, and chain. Now when I'm working flat in the round and I'm building how far I want my circumference to be, we're going to need to increase. So an increase here is going to be adding another puff stitch into the same chain. So let's yarn over, insert, and pull through 3 times, yarn over, pull through, and chain. So there's our increase, and I'm going to increase into each stitch. So that means 2 puff stitches per stitch in this case. Whoops, that's too short. All right, I've done a puff stitch increase all the way around, and it looks very cute, like a little disc. We're going to slip stitch past this puff stitch into that little chain 1 area to just secure it. And that's what it looks like, very cute. And so something you can do, which is also cute, is to add like a single crochet row around here. You could do it in a contrasting color, and then do another puff stitch, just as a design idea. But if we're going to keep going with the puff stitch, let's lengthen our chain again. We're going to do a puff stitch in between the puff stitches here, just like we did before. And chain 1 there. And then if we're keep working flat, then we want another increase here. So we'll do 1 puff stitch and then an increased puff stitch in the next one. Like so. And so that's what that looks like. And so you'll do that all the way around. All right, so we see we've worked all the way around with one puff stitch, then two puff stitch increase. I'm going to slip stitch to join, and you optionally can start working without that and start doing the spiral by just going ahead into your next round with a puff stitch in between and continuing that way. And so as long as you want to keep increasing your circular foundation, if this is for a coaster, if it's for a hat, something like that, you'll keep increasing the number of in-between increases. So next round would be 2 stitches, then an increase, right? And then when you're ready to start, you can either, if you want a more gradual uh, turn to lighten it, you can either drop half of the increases or fully start puff stitching and just single into each space, and you'll start building up your foundation or building down your foundation depending on what you're working on. But that is the idea and should be enough of a guide for you to work on your projects or follow along with the pattern for the Acorn beanie or beret, which will be linked down below if you're interested in that. Let me know if you have any more questions, and I'd be happy to help.